What's new at Charlie's? What's new at Charlie's? Still on Main. What's new at Charlie's?
Hi, welcome to another edition of What's New at Charlie's. Today we're going to be trying some Texas bourbons. There's for years there were some bourbons that you had to leave Michigan to go find. Willet comes to mind. Garrison Brothers was one. Bardstown just came. So there's a lot that are starting to show up in Michigan. One of them that just showed up is Garrison Brothers. They've been making bourbon down in Texas, and they've made a pretty good name for themselves. This is the first time it's been available in the state of Michigan. I was able to get a bottle of the small batch and the single barrel. So I thought, who better to crack it open with than my good friend Mr. Don Williams, the Bourbon Fool. So here we are, and we're gonna crack these things open. Don, what do you say, buddy?
Well, you know, Charlie, I should say howdy.
How y'all doing?
Howdy. Garrison Brothers is been around since 2010. They have a great name in Texas. They talk about their bourbon being bigger and more robust because of hot Texas summers. The interesting thing is these have really good color. They're both about 3 years old.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So there could be something to that. I read that they experimented with cooking and mash bills about 60 different recipes until they got what they wanted.
Wow.
And so these are going to be interesting. I've tried a couple Texas micro distilleries, not Garrison Brothers, so it'll be interesting to see what this brings. They're from Hye, Texas, Hye, which is north of San Antonio and a little bit west of Austin.
Okay.
So, you know, they're middle Texas.
Yeah,
And,
I'd say it gets pretty hot there in the summer. So,
It gets pretty hot.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that both of these are, even though we have a small batch and a single barrel, they both fall at 94 proof.
Oh, wow.
So it'll be a really even taste sample to see what's the difference.
Yeah. Normally, I would say that, you know, you look forward to the single barrel over the small batch. I was fortunate enough to get to try Smoke Wagon the other day, and to me, the small batch blew the single barrel away. So that was my opinion. But so now I'm not so sure. But I say we start with the small batch.
I think that's a good idea.
All right, let's start with the small batch. Let's start with the small batch and see what we got here. So you just never know what you're going to get.
So I don't know if you can see this on camera, but the single barrel has like this silver presentation on the top, and the small batch is black. So you can tell the difference when the bottle is on the shelf.
Yeah, and they have a lot of special edition bourbons.
They do.
I wasn't able to get any of those. I wasn't special enough, I guess. But I'll be looking for those. So maybe, well, depending on how this tasting goes, how hard I'm looking for them, and maybe we'll be trying those in the future here at Charlie's. But cheers, my friend. Let's see what we got. So we're 94 proof, right?
94 proof.
Do we know a mash bill? Do we have anything on that?
Well, I will tell you that it's a wheated mash bill.
Oh, weeded. Okay, all right.
And
So that explains the corn I'm tasting. So
it's softer.
yeah, yeah.
That big rye spice is not there.
Yeah, that's exactly why I asked the question.
So I do know that most of the grains that go into their products are sourced locally.
Yeah,
If not in Texas, there's some things that come out of Wyoming.
yeah.
And I believe the winter wheat is raised on a farm that either they're affiliated with or they own.
Okay, well, this one says the corn is food grade white corn from South Texas. It says right on the bottle. So I just saw that as we were sitting here. But yeah, you get a lot of corn in this, a little sweetness up front.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's the wheat.
So there's quite a bit of, on the underside, barrel char.
Yes.
Some oak. You're getting the oak, and maybe
Yeah.
that's from the hot summer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And to tell you the truth, you know, we talk about aging and accelerated aging and all
Yeah.
that, but I will tell you that this is more mature as a 3-year-old than a lot of them are.
Oh yeah, this is really nice. It's fantastic. Yeah.
But it's obviously, for those of you who drink a lot of bourbon, you'll spot it as a weedy right away.
Yeah. Right. I did not know it was weeded, so now, and I'm a weeded fan, so no wonder I like it. Let's go with the single barrel. See what we got here.
Now I'm really interested to see this.
I know. There you go. Let's see what this one says. So it says the exact same thing for food corn in South Texas, so I'll assume it's from the same maybe batch. Who knows?
You know, Charlie, your earlier comment,
Right on the head, wasn't it?
it's so far the small batch is the clear winner.
Oh, clear winner. Yeah, this is good, but this is way better, in my opinion, my personal opinion. Now you gotta remember this is single barrel, so that doesn't mean the
Right.
single barrel bottle you get at home might not be the same single barrel I got. I don't know if there's a number or a.
Yeah, there is.
This is, yeah. This is bottle 51 of 148. Barrel number 11129. So, you know, but wow, that was pretty, I hadn't tasted them, I swear, but it was pretty prophetic on my part to,
Yeah.
but that's a way better drink for me than this one is.
Right. So this one, the flavor notes are not as profound. The aroma is not as strong. And
It tastes a little immature.
right,
Yeah.
this one, the small batch is actually, and again, the blending process of small batch probably makes up the difference.
Helps,
You know,
yeah.
there's some very mature barrels mixed with some immature, and it comes up with a good product.
Right.
The single barrel is the single barrel lottery.
Right, sure, of course. Yeah.
You know,
we've tried some other, I'm thinking back to the St. Cloud that you'd had before, and the bottle we had was much better than
Right.
the one that you had tasted. So you never know what you're going to get with a single barrel. So sometimes you get, yeah.
But Garrison Brothers is onto something. They're on my bucket list to visit now.
Yeah, absolutely,
They really
dude.
are. And I am interested to see some of their other varieties.
Yeah.
They have some interesting things.
All right, I'll look, Don. I'll see what I can do.
And they only do bourbon.
Yeah, that's it. That's all they make.
They only make bourbon. They make different varieties, but only make bourbon,
Yeah.
which I think is pretty cool.
They do have probably half a dozen specialty bottles out there in the market in Michigan, but I was, like I said, once again, wasn't able to get them. But I'm going to look a little harder right now, see if I can find something else. Boy, I would like to try this in about 3 years, wouldn't you?
Well,
Try that once a 6-year bourbon?
that's always true.
Wow.
Typically,
Yeah.
they have a release that I think is only in Texas called their Cowboy Bourbon,
Yeah.
and my understanding is it sells out like overnight.
All right.
It's just gone.
So the gauntlet's been dropped. I got to find cowboy bourbon for our next edition of Let's Do It Charlie's. But for now, Garrison Brothers available here at Charlie's. Stop in and see what you think between the two. Give them both a try maybe, and give us your opinion anytime. So
Cheers, everyone.
leave a comment if you've tried it or what you think. So
Tell me
cheers,
what's
Don.
doing
Thank you, Charlie.
Charlie's. Charlie's still on the main.